I started painting in 2013. Seriously, that was my first solo exhibition that I had in central London. And it so happened that, being a family man, I just had my children, well, my first daughter. And it was like I used to work full time as a jewelry designer. So I studied architecture, and then I studied jewelry design, well, product designing. And I happened to end up doing jewelry designing job here in London. That was my kind of a job that I was doing. Enjoying it, having good time, but I always wanted to paint. So in 2013, I thought, my wife actually gifted me a canvas and brushes. I mean, she always knew I painted. So she said, why don't you paint now that, you will be spending a lot of time with your girls around here. So, you can do that. So I started doing just random pictures. Like I used to do a lot of these roosters, just splash of colors and stuff like that. So I've just kind of warming up myself, like freeing up, and then somebody saw that and said, oh, would you like to do a portrait for me? So I then thought, well, why not? Then I did one portrait, then two portraits. And before I knew, I was doing a lot of portraitures, So I tended to call myself a portrait artist then I had my two exhibitions after that, solo exhibitions in Mayfair. And then I went to New York on a family holiday. And I ended up going to all the museums, right from Guggenheim to Metropolitan, the museum. Then I went to Raleigh in North Carolina. And oh my God, the stuff that I saw there in all the museums. I mean, you have a national gallery here, but I had to go to America to, find myself, my inner self. And the stuff that I saw, that I came back so rejuvenated that I wanted to just paint. And that's how I started doing landscapes more and more, looking at all the impressionist work. I was so I'm thrilled with what I was seeing. And then the lockdown happened. And when the lockdown happened, it was like, no, you're not allowed to go out. You got to sit inside and paint. And I was like, the little rebel inside me, the subtleness, I wanted to go out and paint. And I said to my wife, and I'm going out and painting. I'm allowed to go alone, I'll be in the wild somewhere. And that's how I started doing en plein air, And since then, I was like, the bug was bitten, and I couldn't stop myself. I had been painting every day, 3-4 paintings, just like from a factory outlet, just going on and on and on. And, that's the story that kind of tells how I ended up doing landscapes. So it has been quite a transition in this aspect as well.